It's been quite a week for our industry, so welcome to a video summary of the past 7 days' news, brought to you by Estate Agent Today and Letting Agent Today. Two words dominate the week: stamp duty. After years of commissioning research, lobbying politicians and comparing the British system with how it's done overseas, a government has finally listened to the estate agent industry and made fundamental reforms to stamp duty. You can find the exact thresholds on the Estate Agent Today website. The measure, introduced in the autumn statement, achieves three things wanted by the industry. Firstly, it makes the buying of homes cheaper for the overwhelming majority of purchasers. Not until you pay over £900,000 will you pay more stamp duty under the new scheme than you would have done before. Secondly, the stamp duty thresholds are smoother. In other words, you pay stamp duty at marginal rates, like income tax, instead of paying the old slab tax, which meant it was hard to sell a home accurately priced close to a threshold. Thirdly, the reform is a positive endorsement of buying homes at a time when the rental market is growing and some say owner-occupation is in permanent decline. Agents were overwhelmingly enthusiastic about the new duty. Top marks for the Chancellor was the verdict of Paul Smith, CEO of Hart. The National Association of Estate Agents was also pleased. These measures will help the majority of buyers, according to Mark Hayward, Managing Director of the association. Meanwhile, Zoopla produced figures that showed at the height of this year's sales market, over 2,600 properties had been artificially underpriced to make them more appealing to buyers under the old thresholds. Now those homes and all in the future can be more accurately priced. The letting sector also expressed delight at the reform. Claire Tobin, the chief executive of Leaders, said landlords would have more choice of properties as the new stamp duty would encourage more homes to come to the market. There were a few voices within the industry this week that were less keen. A number of high-end agents were concerned their clients were among the 2% of buyers who may end up paying more. Inevitably, these were mostly in prime central London. There was, of course, a political tinge to the stamp duty reform. We're only 5 months away from a general election after all, so some of the week's other news had a political overtone. Last weekend, Labour's Shadow Chancellor Ed Balls criticised Savills on BBC TV, accusing it of scaring people of the effects of the mansion tax. Labour's tax may have now been trumped by the stamp duty reform, but whatever happens in May, the market looks like it's in for a sluggish few months until the elections. Figures from Nationwide and the Land Registry in recent days have shown the sales market is slowing down. Two issues made the headlines across the letting side of our industry. The first was the start of Right to Rent, the official name for the checks on tenants' residency status, which letting agents and landlords must carry out. The system is being piloted from this week in the West Midlands. There's widespread concern that agents and landlords are simply not qualified to conduct these checks and that they will err on the side of caution and may even end up inadvertently offending or discriminating against tenants as a result. The second big issue was the continuing debate over revenge evictions. Last week's private members' bill on the subject failed on a technicality, but there's still plenty of debate still going on within the industry. Landlord groups were pleased at the bill's failure because they fear it would make it harder to evict problem tenants. But another MP, Sarah Newton, said she's looking for the cases of revenge evictions. When there's only a few months before elections, you can't keep those politicians down now, can you? That's it for this week, but before we go, a repeat of a special request to estate agents and letting agents. We want more videos on our website. If you've got a great story to tell, especially a charity story in the build-up to Christmas, please make a short video. If the quality and content are good, we'd be delighted to show them on Estate Agent Today or Letting Agent Today. Keep checking those sites for the industry's top news stories, and we'll be back again on video, of course, 1 week from now. Thanks for watching and see you next time.